Hey there everyone, I'm sad. Now you might be thinking, shut up Maniac, nobody cares about how you're doing, we just want to hear you talk about Paper Mario for the Nintendo 64. Fine. Oh, how I love the Paper Mario series. Each entry is just as fun as the last. No controversies ever surround these games. Guess which sentence was the truth? Yeah, the Paper Mario series hasn't been that great to most fans as of late. Originally starting out as a simple but fun platformer RPG, over time turned into a 2D platformer, and then a fever with sound. The direction of the series has been heavily criticized, but since the developers don't seem to care, it's hard to appreciate it when they come out with a game that's actually good. So I can procrastinate talking about the terrifying state of one of my favorite video game series, let's go back to a time where Paper Mario was universally beloved by everyone. I'm so sick of all this sticker origami bullcrap. I think it's time we go back to 2004 when the world was perfect. Wait a minute. Holy cow! I'm outside! Well, now that I'm stuck in the year 2000, there's only one logical thing to do. Figure out what's happening in the Nintendo community. So, this is a thing now? Launching in 1996, the N64 is considered by many to be Nintendo's first major failure. While the N64 only sold about 32 million units, Nintendo's new competitor Sony was able to sell roughly 102 million units of their new PlayStation system. I think the main reason for Nintendo's failure was their game output at the time. Making 3D games was a new and difficult thing, so companies really had to rely on third-party support to sell their systems. Upon being told this, Nintendo must have started laughing uncontrollably for the next 5 years as people tried to tell them that they had no games to sell with the N64. Even their launch lineup was weak with only 2 games. That's not to say Nintendo wasn't releasing quality titles. Super Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, Ocarina of Time, and Kirby 64, just to name a few. In my opinion, though, most of these games haven't aged that well, and even if they had, I probably wouldn't see myself going back to them all that often. If only there were a game released in 2000 that I consistently replay every few months. Paper Mario by Intelligent Systems was released on August 11th, 2000, garnered a 93% on Metacritic, and sold 1.3 million copies. The game is beloved for its pleasant music, unique graphical style, and engaging gameplay. It's hard to think that this game could have been entirely different. Initially, Paper Mario was supposed to be a sequel to Square's Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo. Due to legal reasons, however, it was altered to be the game we know today. I am pretty happy about this, to be honest. I know people love Super Mario RPG, and I think it's pretty great, but the changes made in Paper Mario make the game infinitely better in my opinion. Did I mention that I like this game yet? I could do that a few more times. The first 3 Paper Mario games were beloved for their exciting and unique stories. It's always nice to have a break from the generic Bowser kidnaps Peach stuff. What's the story of this game? Bowser kidnaps Peach's castle, which Peach is inside of. On paper, this game's story doesn't seem too interesting, but there's a lot done here to make it feel special. The game opens with a fight against Bowser that he actually wins. This is all because of the Star Rod, a magical wand that Bowser stole from the 7 Star Spirits of Starhaven. Getting the help of the 7 Star Spirits is Mario's only shot of beating Bowser. Problem is, Bowser's locked them all up in different places across the Mushroom Kingdom. With the help of 8 different party members he meets along the way, Mario will make his way back to Bowser and save the day. I think this is as good a time as any to talk about the characters. One of the other great things about the first 3 games is all the unique characters that you'll interact with. There's the Koopa archaeologist Colorado, who you'll meet in an ancient desert and later on in a Yoshi-filled island. One of your partners, Watt, a ball of electricity with a pacifier. And there's Kent C. Koopa, who appears as an optional boss 2/3 into the game. The bosses are pretty forgettable though. The only good one is this giant spike enemy who eats booze. I can't even remember all the other ones. I think there's a general shy guy in one chapter. Yeah, I don't know. That really sucks, as some of the worlds that you fight these guys in are really interesting. There's an ice palace, flowery fields, a toy box run by shy guys. It's amazing and only made better by the game's pop-up book aesthetic. Actually, I take back what I just said about the bosses. This game parodies the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with its first boss, and it's incredible. This is why it's the best N64 game. Of course, the most important thing in the world to us Paper Mario fans is if there's a good battle system. It's why I can't stand apples. Unsurprisingly, this first game in the series handles battles in a very fun way. Mario has 2 basic moves, his jump, which works on ground and air enemies, but not the spiked ones. And then there's also his hammer, which can't reach enemies in the air, but is effective against spiked enemies. These 2 attacks already give the game so much strategy. What helps the game to stay engaging are the action commands and badges. Action commands return from Super Mario RPG and help you land more powerful attacks and reduce the amount of damage you take from enemies. Badges are gained from exploring the overworld and from purchasing them in shops. They allow Mario to do all kinds of things. Most of them give Mario the edge in battle with stronger attacks. They do require FP, which means it's necessary to plan out your moves. As you get into more battles, you'll level up and get the chance to increase your health, FP, and the number of badges you can wear. This helps to make you feel stronger and acts as a worthwhile reward for getting into fights. Every time you save a Star Spirit, you'll be rewarded with a new ability to perform in battles. They require SP to use, which will automatically recharge as you successfully attack enemies. Here to help you win battles are your party members. They give you a second chance to attack and have different moves for different situations. This battle system is pretty darn sweet. It's engaging, fun, and worthwhile. I can't wait to see how future games handle battles. Of course, battles only make up half of the gameplay in this game. You'll be spending the rest of your time exploring a variety of different areas around the kingdom. You can jump and use your hammer in the overworld, but most of the time you'll be relying on your partner's abilities to get through each area. There are a lot of pathways and villages that you'll explore which really add to the world building. I seriously feel like I'm exploring a location that could exist within the Mushroom Kingdom. There are also many dungeons that you'll be exploring throughout your adventure. They're somewhat Zelda-like with all the puzzles and obstacles you'll face. While exploring, you'll stumble across different upgrades for your hammer and boots, which not only help you in the overworld, but in battles too. When you finish a chapter, the game will transition into a scene where you play as Princess Peach and get to find out what Bowser is up to. You'll end up sneaking around the castle, bake a cake, participate in a quiz show, and do many other things. These are all pretty dang cool and act as a nice teaser for what Mario will be doing next. So that's Paper Mario 64. It's a really fun game and I recommend you get it. It's available on the Wii U Virtual Console for the 2% of you that actually own that thing. As for me, I'm gonna head out of here. 2000 is really cool and everything, but the battle system really sucks.